Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that you guys are as excited as I am. My name is Staffan Liebeck. I am sure that most of you people on this call has already been introduced to me, so I will not in any way, take the time, waste time here to explain about who I am. I am pretty sure that if you listened in to yesterday's call about Switch with Kathleen Roberts, you are as excited as me to what we have in front of us and what opportunities lying ahead of us. Not only the next days, not only the next weeks, months, but I believe years and potentially even longer. I am personally very blessed. I'm feeling very blessed to be involved in this. Why? Because in 21 years in networking, it is the first time where I see a real product. I've seen a lot of good products, but the problems has been shipping, or this or that. I've seen a lot of interesting concepts in the crypto market even, okay? But I haven't seen anything that puts all of these elements, connects all of these elements together. That is what is at least has been, now coming up so clearly in my brain, that what is it really that we're building, and what is the power of node technology, of decentralization, of blockchain technology, guys, that is right now being rolled out, and creating the new generation of what I believe the new generation of how data is shared in the future. That is what I believe. And as I said yesterday on the call with Kathy Roberts, I mean, I was too excited. I couldn't hardly, keep my mouth shut because I got so excited. Okay. So if somebody took it in the wrong way, that I was interrupting her or, anything like that, I want to, pardon from that. But I know that she didn't take it in that way. Okay. Because when you speak with somebody, it became a conversation. Okay. So the conversation got so heated because she understood that I understood what she speaks about. Okay, because banking is very near to me because I've been studying crypto since 2014, but I also been studying banking more long than that. Okay, my education is a lawyer and economy. Okay, so for me it was a natural thing. I've been in shipping back in the days and so on. So when I saw what she is doing, combining the elements that today has problems of, of being transparent or fast enough or cost efficient enough and so on. And did you guys see the black card with no loading fees, with, unlimited transactions and a node? So I mean, for me, I put the time last night to cut in the presentation into the video. So if you haven't re-listened it, do it, because in many cases when we speak with experts, I know today we have an expert on from Green. Okay, a very cool thing. So probably today again I have one more favorite. And that's the beauty of these calls that we've been having, is that we learn all the time. We connect more of it. How does it fit into the infrastructure? And how good is the wind wheel then also, ladies and gentlemen, with being able to generate funds, generate wealth for people that we bring on board. You guys following me? With having the Forex rebuys and all of these things, because we are in that way also protecting people from themselves. Because if you give people straight out money, I know with networkers, it's in here, it's out here, correct? So in one way, yeah, we like to make money. That's why we're here, correct? That's why we're here. I know Henrique here that I see that is, nodding. He said, Stefan, show me the money. Yes, exactly. That's what it's about. But combining the show me with money with something that is needed for sustainability, that is needed for making things more, fast. Why wait when you don't have to do it anymore? These are the things that I've been discovering, and I hope you had the same journey as me. So that's why I am so excited, because it's genuine, okay? Now, let's take a look here. So we find Stephen that will be on for today, and he will be speaking today, ladies and gentlemen, about green. Can you make yourself seen, Stephen, if I have you here on the call moment? It's getting harder. I think this is probably more. Make co-host. So do we have you here, Stephen Waters? on the call with us?
Yes, I'm here.
Brilliant.
Can you hear me good?
I can hear you brilliantly. Brilliantly.
Awesome.
It is a pleasure to have you on the call here today. We've been experiencing a real ride, in nodes technology, and what is possible with nodes, with the concepts, more or less. And today I have understood that we will get to hear from you what comes to green. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yes. Yeah, I'm really
I will
excited.
leave you with that, sir. I will leave you with that, sir, and I will, listen more than I speak. And, and I'm looking forward to listening to your presentation on green.
Well, I've been sitting here listening to you, and I really enjoyed your energy. And feel free, honestly, if you have questions, or things that you'd like to talk about in terms of green. I don't like to be too rigid with my talking points. I find that, like you said, when you actually talk with a person, it's much more insightful and more enjoyable, and you can really create that connection with people. And really, that's what I like about Connect, and everything that they're about is really connecting people. And from the standpoint of green, is why we have been so attracted to what they're doing. Because really, at the end of the day, technology is really about bringing us together, bringing people together, and it's improving trust, improving commerce. And so, Connect, we're really excited about working with Connect, integrating with Connect, and ultimately reaching this community of really influential people that want to make an impact and make a difference in this world. So glad to be here.
Thank you, sir. Maybe I understood that you will have a presentation to share something with us, so we can go more deep in. People have heard about green before. They've been on the calls, most of them. If they're not, they can go back and listen in again. So if you please would go ahead and tell us what makes green so special, and how does it work, and why are you so excited about it, especially connecting it to the community?
Yeah, let me see if I can get my screen up here. Is it showing my slides here? Can you see those? All right, cool, perfect. Well, green is an incredible project. I've always been I like to give a little personal background to everybody on here. I like to be a part of really impactful projects and movements. And for much of my life, I've had the opportunity to work with different authors. And back in the early 2000s, I had the opportunity to work with a guy that wrote a book called The 1 Minute Millionaire. And it's the enlightened way to wealth. And when they approached me, he co-wrote Chicken Soup for the Soul. And when he approached me about this book and this new project that he was undertaking, I was really intrigued, because it's really 2 books in one. You look at it, and it's both fiction and nonfiction all in one book. And I had never heard of that before. It just changed my whole paradigm of a book. And he said, we broke the idea is that it will be 2 books in one. The left pages is for the left brain people, very logical, very practical, very step-by-step how you create wealth in your life. And the right-hand pages is more of a story based on a woman's life, a real person applying the things that you would learn in this book. And their goal was to change the idea of wealth. Because at that time, at least here in the USA, it was during Enron, and there was a lot of corruption, and people had this idea that of wealth that just, from their point of view, was totally off base. And their goal was to turn it into bestsellers, 2 bestsellers, both on the fiction and the nonfiction at the same time. And so they invited me and some close friends to work with them on it. And it was the most exciting thing ever, We were able to create over 100 millionaires, and gave
Yes.
over $100 million in charity to different causes around the world. It was so cool, and probably the coolest thing I've ever done, until one of my close friends came to me and said, "Steve," and actually I was with another one of my really close friends. Both of these are my childhood friends that I've known for a very long time. And they pitched this idea to me about green. And have you ever had one of those experiences where someone tells you something, whether or you watch a movie or you hear a story, or maybe it's on your phone, on Instagram or something, you see a little video, and the hair on the back of your neck just stands up?
Yes,
When
Stephen, I'm having it now.
Yeah, yes.
This
Well,
book
I
that you
want you.
speak about, amazing that you are involved with that. I mean, it's one of the best books I ever read.
Oh, it changed my life, truly. And when my friend was telling me about this vision that he had about energy, and to me and my other friend, the hair on the back of my neck just stood up. And it was one of those moments where I was just like, I have to do this. I must do this. I can't think of anything better that I would do right now than work on this project. And so I am so happy to be talking with you guys today about this vision. And you've already heard the cat's out of the bag. It's called green. And green is going to do to energy what Bitcoin is doing to finance. And, every day we see the headlines and everyone's talking about Bitcoin. It seems like it's always hitting a new high. Even right now, I think it's just hitting at 68,000. Who would ever thought, this year that it would be up at 68,000? Not many people, but it's totally rewriting the financial game. And in what's so cool about it is that blockchain is disrupting so many different marketplaces, and 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 energy is set to be the next one that is being disrupted. And so, a lot of people don't realize this, but energy has largely remained the same for the last 150 years, especially here in the USA and other places around the world. It's pretty much the same thing. You have wires and you have power stations, and it's pretty much been the same for the last 150 years. And that model has kind of reached the end of its cycle. And
Outdated, yes.
yeah, a lot of people don't realize this, but currently there's almost 1.5 billion people on the planet that don't have electricity. Don't have it. They don't have any concept of a light in their home, or the ability to turn on a TV. Many of them don't even know what it is, and it's just crazy for me to think about that. When you start thinking about energy and how it impacts your life, it literally touches every aspect of your life. I actually read recently in a book that the energy grid is the biggest machine, at least in the USA. It's the largest machine in the USA. And that just floored me because it's just always been there. It's kind of part of the backdrop. You don't really recognize it. And the challenge that we're facing here and many places around the world is blackouts or downtime, where there isn't any light, is increasing. On any given day here in the USA, about 500,000 people will be without power for about 2 hours, and that's increasing in frequency. And so, on top of that, as more and more people are using energy, we're starting to be more conscious about the types of energy we use because of the pollution and things that it's doing to our planet. And so there's an urgency that we all feel to address this energy problem that we have. And look around right now. We probably all have smart watches. We probably all have smartphones. Smart TVs, maybe even smart cars. And the future is a future that will need more energy, not less. And not only will we need more energy, but it has to be more efficient, more clean, more accessible. And so the challenge is great. And these kind of problems cannot be solved with the thinking that got us here. We can't use the 1900s energy model to solve the future. And so, the exciting thing about green is that it's reimagining the way that we source and distribute and also track energy. And so that's why I'm so excited about green. And I'm going to follow some of this, but probably not fully. Here's some things that we probably have all seen. Currently there's about 66.5% of the power on our grid is from these dirty fossil fuel sources. And why is that? Why has it been that way, and why does it continue to be that way? Well, it's this maze of complicated energy policies and laws that stifle innovation and slow growth and limit access. And so look at here, this is pretty startling. Right now, 70% of the grid transmission lines and the transformers are over 25 years old. That's crazy. Look at this. Add an additional 9 years to that figure, and that's the average age that you have, at least here in America, of a power plant. It's estimated that by 2050, nearly every single power plant in the US will need to be replaced by new plants. Look at this. It's estimated that by 2050, nearly every single, I already did that one. We'll go to the next one. I had a double there. Here we go. Anyways, on top of, our aging power networks, our transmission lines, and our power plants, the power outages, that's in the US, we call it blackouts or brownouts. That's whenever the power goes out and we have to turn on a candle or use a flashlight. The frequency of those are increasing every year. And the length of those blackouts is also increasing. And, look at this. I went through and I put this together, believe it or not, did a bunch of research, but look at this. In 2008, there was 2,169 power outages. And then by 2014, there was 3,634. It's growing exponentially. And so we have to address this. And the problem with the current model is it uses a hub and spoke model. And it's kind of like the tire of a bike or the wheel of a bike. In the middle, you have the hub, and then you have the spokes that go to the outside. Those are like the power lines. And the problem with that is that it's very fragile because we're all reliant on this one source for energy. And, that's just not going to cut it. We need to have multiple sources. And the challenge has been is how do you do that? And the great thing is Bitcoin showed us a way that we could apply that technology to energy and totally reimagine and rebuild the energy model in a way that addresses all of these problems: efficiency, security, accessibility. All of these issues can be addressed by using, blockchain with energy. And so, we, in the beginning, when we started on this project, we were big into, my buddy was really big into the energy model, and he saw a problem. He was in Hawaii and on vacation with his family, and he noticed that the windmills were breaking and they weren't getting fixed. And he, being in energy, that really was kind of, a little concerning to him. And he managed to make his way over and to talk to some of the owners that were running these windmills. And, they told him that, a lot of the subsidies, the government money that would help to subsidize the expense of these new energy sources was drying up. They weren't able to provide that as much anymore. And so they weren't able to continue to fix their different, windmills and their different power sources. And so that really troubled him. And so he, went to work thinking about how that could be fixed and how more people could get access to energy, because there's a lot of people around the world that don't have access to energy. And we have to address that, because, just think about it. If you have access to energy, then you could have light. If you have light, then that means you could read books later into the evening. You could work later into the evening. Maybe that means that you could have access to the internet. That enables you to maybe learn new skills, acquire a new job. It enables you to connect to a larger global marketplace, to transact and to participate in a larger global economy. And so electricity really, and getting the masses access to electricity can fundamentally change our planet and improve the quality of our lives, And so blockchain can do that. Now, I want to show you this. A lot of people don't realize this, but blockchain technology in the energy market is predicted to rise to about 18 billion by 2025, which is pretty incredible, because that's just a few years from now. And what green is doing, the simplest way that I could explain green on a really high level is, we've all heard about Airbnb, right? Airbnb rewards you for sharing your home, right? Uber rewards you for sharing your car. Well, green rewards you for sharing your power. That's what green does, is it literally enables you, much like Airbnb and Uber, the technology enables you to share your power. And, it uses the blockchain's peer-to-peer nature to allow you to share your power. And it's really cool how it all works. And essentially, you can run one of these nodes on one of the compatible devices, whether it's your computer at home or a computer at work. You can run this node, and what it's doing is, I like to think of it as creating a new wireless grid. Think of it like that, a wireless grid that isn't limited by the ocean, right? And it isn't limited by some of the things that the traditional energy grid is limited. And what it does is it incentivizes the generation of new forms of energy and power. So you think about some of the problems of our current energy model, right? Something that we all hate is if we're watching a show, or we have the lights on, or we're trying to cook, when the power goes out. That's like the worst thing ever, right? And that's a bad thing for energy, is blackouts and downtime. And so when you think about an energy model for the future, you want one that is always on, is always connected. And so green rewards power providers, or people that are sharing their power by running the node. It rewards them for staying connected and staying online without interruption. So the longer that your node is connected and the more consistent it's connected, the more green rewards you would earn. Okay, that's how it is. That's how the algorithm is programmed in that. And so in that way, it's going to incentivize a power model that has less downtime, right? In addition, it incentivizes power providers for being, how do you say it, more efficient and seeking out free and renewable forms of energy. And by doing that, power providers will be able to earn more rewards, more green rewards. And so, it's really fascinating how the whole green blockchain is built. In blockchain with Bitcoin, it uses proof of work. That's a model that it uses, in blockchain to create value. You look at Ethereum and it uses proof of stake. Well, green uses something called proof of power. And the proof of power model, what it does is it essentially validates legitimate forms of power contribution. So, when you provide, power by running a node, your node helps to verify other power providers. And for doing that work, verifying power, then your node generates rewards, green rewards. Now, what can you do with these green rewards?
Can I ask you a question in between? I'm sorry, but to make it clear for the people.
Yeah.
Because it's so important, this that you mentioned, and I think most people miss it, because if I have understood correctly, correct me if I'm wrong, what green is doing and the verifications that we are doing is we can verify that it is kilowatt or whatever, or produced that is environmentally consciously taking into consideration social capital in it, even carbon credits possibly, and so on. And that brings value to energy provider to actually be verified by us. Is that the right way of saying?
Yeah. So I'm so glad you brought that up and that you keyed in on that. Yeah, because what it does is it incentivizes power providers or node operators, people that are running a node and providing power to this new global network. The green blockchain is what it's called. By contributing power and doing it responsibly and as efficiently as possible, you're going to be able to earn more green rewards. I don't like to get super technical because it loses a lot of people. It's kind of like, your Wi-Fi router. You know that it works, you love it, you enjoy it, but you're not quite sure how it works on the granular levels, right? The details. But green, yes, it measures energy, it measures power, and it rewards for consistent power generation and contribution, sharing power. It rewards you for providing more power. So more nodes that you run, the more rewards you can earn. That's how you maximize, your green rewards. And, and then also, like I said before, seeking out free and economical energy sources. And so in this way, green is going to incentivize the creation of a new global energy grid or power grid that, is going to, release innovation from people to come up with all kinds of new and exciting ways to generate power and to make it more accessible and more responsible, as we go forward. So, that's, on a super high 10,000 foot level, how green works.
I would ask the following. Are there limitations, how many nodes, for an example, will be available? What is the strategy of the rollout, when you are switching it, or do you need a lot of capacity? How many, technical questions? Is it easy to do?
Yeah, it's, that's, and that's why we're so excited about Connect, and Connect wanting to integrate with green. Because that's what Connect does. Technology, can be really intimidating. I grew up on a farm, believe it or not. I didn't do a lot of computer work, and computers was always something that was very intimidating to me. And it was something that I didn't always fully understand as a kid until some company came along called AOL, America Online. And, you know, you just put this little CD in your computer and instantly you could connect to the internet. They made it so easy. And that's what, you know, I'm really excited about Connect. They bring that to green. They make it so that, you know, running a green node is really easy. It's literally as easy as just double clicking on the program. It launches, you know, you log in, and then you literally just hit start and it goes. And the technology takes care of all the details. And, you know, you can have a node running on your computer while you're, you know, playing a game, or while you're, you know, doing some of your work. You can run a green node, and it's measuring, you know, power generation and power contribution. And that data of power usage and power generation is really valuable. And it's really important when trying to build out a strong and resilient, you know, power grid.
How much memory does it take up on your computer? Do you have those details?
Yeah. So, basically, you know, if your computer runs a Windows or a Mac computer, or, you know, an Ubuntu Linux computer, you know, if you can connect to the internet, then, you know, with the latest operating system, then you should have no problem running a green node. You don't have to have a top of the level computer. You don't have to have an expensive computer. You know, literally, you know, if you're able to run the, you know, the latest, you know, Windows software, or the latest, you know, Apple software or Linux, you're good. You're good to go.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting concept, I must say. How long have you
Yeah.
been involved in the green project, sir?
Oh, what would you say? Like 2000? I'm talking to my buddy, probably since 2017.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
We've
for
been
for
working
quite
on,
some time.
yeah, a
Quite
long
some
time.
time.
Yeah, very long time. It's been really
Interesting.
exciting. Yeah, it's
Okay.
awesome.
Thank you, sir, for sharing about green. How do you see the future with what is the companies, what is the green's specific targets? What can you see happening in the next year, within the end of 2022?
Yeah, so we're really excited. Like literally when you ask that question, I'm getting like, you know, goosebumps, because I'm so excited about the future and the roadmap of green. Green is you know, isn't like a traditional company. It's a decentralized group of passionate uh, people that love technology but also love energy. And so we're attracting a lot of really talented men and women around the world. We're getting a lot of people coming to us wanting to work with us. And, you know, part of that roadmap, you know, includes, you know, rolling out additional support for energy credits, you know, additional support for solar and other renewable forms of energy, where the integration is more tightly, there's a more tighter integration, you know, with, you know, some of the, you know, ways that we, you know, use and generate energy. You know, we've also talked about some of these, you know, more niche projects. You know, we had a group. I had the opportunity to talk to a group that created. It goes on light poles and it spins when cars drive by it,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
it's really cool. We've been talking to them. They're really interested in the green project. And, you know, we've been talking with them about different ways that we could integrate green with some of their technology. You know, there's been talk about electric cars and how green, you know, could integrate with some of the charging stations to help offset some of that cost, so that, you know, you could charge your car potentially for free.
Interesting. So basically, we're taking existing energy that can be produced for a low price, offsetting it through the node technology to actually support rolling out more sustainable energy. So that's what you mean.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, it's so cool, because
That
there's a
is
lot of,
cool because the
yeah,
energy prices are so big difference in them. I'm just speaking to a company in Laos that is starting now. They allowing mining, bitcoins, and crypto in general, and they have actually we might be able to reach 3 cents, per kilowatt. You know,
wow.
yeah.
Yeah.
So then you think the 3 cents, it
It's
gets interesting, so to
Oh
say.
yeah. Yeah, it's a game changer for sure, And we're talking right now about integrating green with some of these other projects that Connect is integrating with. We're all separate, different projects with different teams, but we're all united in this vision of blockchain and rolling that technology and making it more accessible to people all over the world. And Switch is definitely something we've been talking with them about, making it a lot easier, for people to access and use their green with Switch, and to be able to pay their power bills, their electric bills with their green. And so, as part of that roadmap, I would look to see here, early this next year, of 2022, that paying your power bill with green will be really easy. Really easy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
basically, you're running a node of green, and you will be able to come to rewards that is matching your power bill.
Yes. Yes.
That is
Or
pretty impressive, or above.
yeah.
And
Or
if you're
or
smart, you
even
keep the rewards.
yeah. 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 I mean, you could even be able to buy your friends a drink maybe with some of the green rewards. You know, that would be cool.
I like it because this is so cool, Steve, because it follows the same pattern as the other ones. We had Kathleen Roberts from Swift on yesterday. It follows the same pattern, all of it.
Yes.
Make
Yes.
it more sustainable, use decentralization. It's really interesting. Get paid from the transactions and transacting and confirming transactions on the different blockchains.
Yes, yeah. And the cool thing is you don't have to be like a computer expert or a programmer to do this. You can literally, get one of these nodes and there's like a green node, which is, a smaller version of the full node, right? The smart node. And you can launch one of those on your computer and start earning rewards right away. And you can build up to as many nodes as you would like to get, right? And so, it's easy. You just launch the program, you log in, you hit go, and it's running.
Very cool. I'm looking forward to see where this one is taking us in the next days, weeks, months, years, because we have a really cool onboarding mechanism that we call the win wheel, okay, which you
Uh-huh.
will be able to build up your revenue towards offsetting it into more green node capacity and so and so. So I'm looking really forward. It is a really cool revenue engine. Let's call it a revenue engine.
That's cool. Yeah, I love that. I love that. That's what's great about blockchain is it's completely rewriting everything that it touches, including, how we interact with our friends and our social networks, to finances, to power, to health and fitness. I mean, it's literally changing everything and making it way more interesting and accessible for people.
I have one question actually that I
Okay.
forgot to ask you. How many people are currently, working on the green project? I mean, it's probably growing, but at the moment, how many people are working on it currently?
Yeah, I would say, that number is dynamic and it changes from time to time, because it's, decentralized and it's fluid. But I would say in general, or on average, I would say probably around 40 people
Okay,
are working on it.
interesting. Okay, we're looking forward to see, what is the current, current capacity? How much are you getting for running, 24-hour currently a node? How much rewards are you getting out?
So
currently?
that's a hard one, right? Because the way that the green algorithm functions is, it's not like every other blockchain. Every blockchain, when they launch a blockchain, they have different goals on how they want to incentivize,
Yes, of
you
course.
know, and so, green, it really depends upon how many other nodes are connected, right? It also depends on how many of your nodes are connected, how long they've been connected without downtime. And
Yeah.
so, it really varies. And so, I could tell you that uh, I'm really happy, and everyone that I talk to that's running a node is really happy with the rewards that it's generating for them. And so, you'll just have to get one and start running it, and you'll see.
Good answer.
Yeah,
Good answer. It's a little bit too
yeah.
good in the beginning usually.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
have
It's
understood that the algorithm is based a lot on the fair launch model, which means that it would be divided basically by how many are on, like you said, on a certain day, how long they're running, also in
yes.
some cases, where it's produced and so on. So
Yeah, and I would
interesting.
hate to give someone a number and, maybe, their computer goes offline, or maybe their power goes offline and they aren't able to run it. And they're like, "Steve, you said that I would get this much and I didn't." And
Yes,
so it's
yes.
just so unique by each person and the nodes that they're running.
Is it very similar to the Gala, how it is, the Gala node, how it is built up with rewards?
So there is some similarities with Gala, but it's also very different in many ways. Because Gala's goal is, they have different ways that they like to judge a strong and healthy gaming community. You
Yeah,
know,
of course.
so in a sense, Green wants power providers to be connected consistently as much as possible. And in a similar way, I guess you could say, Gala would like game players, playing a lot, right?
Yeah, yeah,
They would
yeah.
like that. That's a really active community, right? So the more that you're playing, uh, and the more people that you're bringing into Gala, I guess it would reward you for your referrals. Green, is going to reward you for your connection time. It's going to reward you for connecting more nodes or providing more power. So there, I guess in a way you could say there's some similarities, right? But fundamentally, yeah, they have nodes. We have nodes. There are, apps that go along with it to make it easy to store your rewards, your digital rewards that you're earning, to be able to send them and receive them just like an email or like Bitcoin, you know. And there's also ways for you to be able to, uh, you know, send those or trade those for other, digital rewards like a Bitcoin or like an Ethereum, so uh, it's really exciting. And we have a lot of really cool developments and announcements that will be coming here over the next couple weeks and early this next year.
Okay, interesting. We are looking forward. We are looking forward. We're learning a little bit more every day, getting more excited about the concept in general. So
Yeah.
thank you, Stephen, for coming on. Steve, for coming on, and I hope that we will be speaking soon again. Thank you
Hey,
for your
thank you.
time.
Hey, thanks for having me. It was truly a joy to talk to you, and I love seeing everyone's smiling faces. You guys look like a fantastic community. So
Thank
excited,
you.
for real. So excited uh, to be able to work with you guys and to get the message out. So hopefully we can all meet in person in the future.
Thank you. Thank you, sir,
You
for your
bet.
time.
You bet.
Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look at that. Was fantastic, and let's take a look at what we have ahead of ourselves. Moment. I will share my screen here. tomorrow we have Wednesday, and we have actually Ali Austin that will be on presenting Give, which is very, very important. If you ask me, you know, if you receive something, we need to give something. And in my opinion, we always give before we receive. So that is also important to remember. But not only that, what I have understood for tomorrow, we will also show you guys and speak more about the real, you know, technical things with the nodes. You know, how will they be distributed, you know, to you? How do you, you know, switch them on? You know, downloaded, how do you know, in practical, you know, way, showing how it's done. And I have also understood that we will get the technical specifications, you know, needed for if somebody would like to have it running on a VPS and so on. So we are working on that for tomorrow, and I am personally very, very excited about that, because I'm looking forward to how in practical things, you know, you do. So we can help, you know, the teams that will be getting all of the nodes to get them active also. This is obviously very, very important. The other things that is so interesting is that, yes, the technology for this development of nodes, same, you know, it's blockchain. They are made to be easy for us to use, which I respect. Also, I have understood that they are also actually not that heavy to run, because their idea is not to, you know, to be heavy on your computer. Their idea is to document facts on it through a smart contract. So if it is then switch, confirming, you know, transactions and so on, if it is green, documenting, you know, where does this electricity come from? Is it produced through solar? Is it produced through wind power? Like we were speaking about, incentivizing, you know, new innovations coming out on the market and rewarding them with greens, you name it. So all of these, including blue then, with all the benefits of blue. So personally for me, I'm looking now much, I can start seeing, you know, the whole concept coming together. I can start seeing, you know, how will we be rolling it out on the market through the Windwheel. So now I'm really looking forward also to see how do I in reality switch on a node. Okay, getting it seen, you know, that this is how you do, you know, this is what it's, you know, clicking it on a Mac or a PC doesn't matter for me. But anyway, that I see it's done, so I know how to do it once I get the privilege myself of starting to download the software and start running these nodes. So I hope that you guys are as excited as me, and I'm really looking forward to tomorrow to meet Ali. I mean, you know, be in contact with her before, both through Zoom and obviously also through communication, you know, about the different things going on. So Ali will be with us tomorrow. I'm looking forward to that, and teach us about Connect also, about the nodes, but also more importantly about Give. So I see you tomorrow at the same time. Have a nice evening. Bless you wherever you are around the world, and see you on the top. Ciao.